You saved me for last. I didn't write this because there ain't no paper in the world. Pastor and I met on Wednesday, and I don't think he thought he was going to be with me as long as he was. I did name my testimony. From God's mercy was my last hope to the man in the mirror. And the reason why I say that, I have a book that I read at least 10 times. And I'll get back to that in a little bit. My past started with a very big family. I was sexually abused by a family member. My parents owned restaurants. My father died of 13 heart attacks, standing at a grill when I was 4 years old. I started cooking at the age of 5. When I was sexually abused by one of my sisters, my mother pushed it under the carpet. I was the baby of the family. I got anything and everything I wanted because she didn't know what to do. I graduated high school, never opened a book. My teachers used to ask me, why is your book still brand new at the end of the year? And I graduated with high honors. Went in the military, had all envisions of retiring from the military. I was young and dumb. I lasted 4 years. Military led me to becoming an EMT and a paramedic within a matter of 2 years of becoming out of the military. I retired as a paramedic at 29 and a half years and never missed a day of work. Never missed a day of working in a restaurant. I was born and raised that if your feet hit the floor, you went to work no matter what happened. Long story short, that picture was painted in a state prison institute because I was lost. I did a total of 18 years, not all at one time. I wasn't one to have somebody tell me you had to be home, you had to be here, you had to do this. I made them do their jobs. Nobody did it but myself because I was too stubborn, bullheaded to ask for help. 2010, I got tired of going in and out of jail. At least I thought I was. But I did ask for help. I went through all kinds of psychiatry. I seen all kinds of doctors. I seen all kinds of counselors. And they looked at me and said, because you don't have a drug problem, we don't know what to do. So my prison time wasn't over yet. 2 years ago was my last time I was in prison for the very last time. On a Monday before Deb Core's Bible study, I opened an email up that I was not expecting. I thought I was on paper, as we call it in the jail life, for another 4 years. I was released from all probation 3 months ago. Been married twice. This my last marriage. I fought very hard not to get a divorce because I'm a firm believer I was married for a reason and God wanted me to be married. But I shared with Pastor on Wednesday, I had a spiritual advisor who, when I shared that I was tired of fighting for this marriage, basically cut all ties with me. Mysteriously, I got a friend's request, and she still denies it to this day.
I will continue.
From Melissa, and we started talking about 2 months after this friend's request. She's been a blessing because I've been praying for a female, not a companion, not a lover, just somebody that can keep me grounded. God put her in my life for a reason. When I chose to move out of the house where I was sleeping for 6 months on the couch, and every time my soon-to-be ex-wife came in the same room, I walked out because I knew where I was going to go and I wasn't going back to jail. So I decided to leave the Harrisburg area, come back down to York where I was born and raised at, and I stayed in hotels for weeks at a time until I got tired of spending that kind of money. We searched together to find me a place to live, and God had his hand put in that because I now live in Stewartstown. My landlord is a pastor, and she's also been a blessing. I have a whole lot of things that I thought I wanted to do in life, but God has been pointing me in a direction that I really didn't think that I was going to be. I do have a catering business. God laid it on my heart that I need to change the name of it. As Pastor shared, I'm going this afternoon to look at a food trailer that I drove by and drooled over for months. I didn't want to knock on this man's door because I didn't know him. Thursday it became available and for sale. Melissa had a dream about it, that it was gone, and she thought I had it. With all the years that I've done in prison, not only do I have my paramedic degree, when I came home, shortly, it was in the middle of 2010, I signed up for Phoenix University online to be a human service counselor because I wanted to keep troubled youth from going back to jail. I signed up for a 2-year program to have an associate's degree. 2.5 years later, I received a certificate with a master's degree in human services. I also sit on the board of directors of York Technical Institute Culinary Program as a board of director, and I do not have a culinary degree. They keep on bugging me to go get that piece of paper. I don't want it. I learned from the School of Hard Knocks. I shared with the pastor if I would ever do it, it would have been for the management. I do that, and I love doing it, and people think I'm crazy. The other thing that God's been laying on my heart is to actually go back and get certified as a chaplain. I have probably 4 or 5 years before I can walk back into a jail as a free man. But I want to go back and do prison ministry. So my testimony started really rocky, and God's not done with me. I shared this book. The reason why I use this as part of my testimony, I hated the man that I seen in the mirror for years. I read this book, I believe, the last time I counted was 10 times. And I wanted, when I was sharing my testimony with Missy and my landlord, I wanted to find this book. We found it online. And the night when I go home, I plan on reading this, and I will probably be done with it tomorrow. I no longer hate the man in the mirror. I love the man in the mirror. And there is a lot of people that I know that I've talked to over the years that they have a problem when they see themselves. And this book actually will change that. I just shared with my landlord's grandson because he was going through some problems and I seen myself in him. I don't use my rearview mirror in my car unless I see a car behind me because I don't look behind me no more. What's behind me is behind me. The church family on the Monday night Bible study, or when do we do Bible study? Tuesday. On the Tuesday Bible study, has heard my testimony, bits and pieces. I have 2 people to thank to give me the courage to actually stand here. One is Deb, and where you at? Back there. The very first time I came into this church, because I was hungry for a church, and I've been through churches, and I walked in this church and I found a home. I talked to Bill's wife. She knew my testimony within the first half hour when we broke for fellowship. I'm also in the process of writing a cookbook. It's been 10 years going. However, Melissa's going to actually put it in the computer for me this winter, and I'm hoping I have all information. Amazon will print it, will publish it, and will sell it for me. But I'm not stopping with one cookbook. It's going to be a plain cookbook, but my second, third, and fourth will have my testimony throughout the cookbook because I feel I need to share it. So on that note, I want to thank everybody because I was joking the other week with Deb and Pastor. I said some people might like my testimony and still might like me, and some people not. And I told Pastor, and I even said that to him, when he hears my testimony, he might not like me, but I still go home and sleep because I'm the one that has to not even like me, but I'm the one that has to love me. But everybody in this church has shown me love in the last 5 months. And I want to thank you.